One of the things I've been noticing about life is it brings you what you need over and over to experience, but also when you have traumas or blocks or skewed perspectives trapped in you, you have like this emotional pattern that's rolling and it's blocking your normal flow and your joy. And so when experiences, you bring those experiences that are similar to the vibration of those blocks. Like let's say it's anger from some traumatic incident that happened as a child. Give an example with me. My father, didn't see him for a long time. After I was 3, he was pretty much gone out of my life till my 20s. And I would have this sorrow and this challenge with that. And so I had to learn how to embrace that feeling trapped from all the way back when I was like 3 and younger, and feel into that. And then that feeling of sorrow would swell up and made me cry. As an adult, I went through this, and that finally allowed me to release it. But I had to pray and ask for help with healing it, because it's not something we can necessarily, with our logical minds, control and make ourselves heal. Like we try to do that kind of stuff, but throughout my life, before that, the healing was taking place, I would have a lot of instances like birthdays and different things where I'd get emotional or down and couldn't figure out why. I remember one day, once I was married, my wife goes, it's funny, you have this pattern. I wonder if it's related to like your relationship with your dad, and maybe, when these holidays come up and you get hit out of the blue, maybe it's from that. As she's saying it, I'm just bust out crying, just out of nowhere. And it helped me see that what she was saying was on point. So that was early, and then I went through a lot of different healing and just really surrendered and asked God, Source, to help me and guide me through the healing process, and I feel great, and I have a relationship with my dad now, which is a beautiful thing. But I say that to give you an example of how, like certain triggers, we have certain blocks where we resist what we've been through. We resist what is some traumatic things or painful things in our lives, and that has this energy stored up that we've never fully experienced, and that's waiting to be released, whether it's sorrow, mourning, crying, or whatever. But at the bottom of that, think of that energy like a bucket. You have to go through it to see what's at the bottom. At the bottom of that typically is this skewed perspective or meaning that we have assigned, or impression that we have assigned. And once it gets up close, we can ask God, His Spirit, Source Energy, the Divine, to help us heal through that, so we can allow our joy and our innate original essence, who we were created to be, abundant life, to flow, that river of life to flow seamlessly. So there's a process I use where whenever some emotion is coming up, I feel into it, I relax, and I pray, and I ask, help me understand and guide me through the healing that I need through this experience, or through what I'm feeling now. And I relax, and I just let go, and I let God's Spirit, Source Energy, flow and do its work. Sometimes it takes me to things that I start recognizing. Like this morning I did it, and I was feeling the sorrow of death and the sorrow of people experiencing that, and my own resistance to how people have to suffer or go through suffering. And I was just taken through this deep emotional healing to see how the divine is always there, and just giving revelation to see how there's no reason to resist what is and resist that flow, that the divine is always there. In fact, I'll read you what I got. So that helped me heal, and I shared it today. But that process, again, sometimes I give thanks first for the emotion that comes up. Any emotion that doesn't feel like all is well, when that comes up, I give thanks first, or I just recognize, okay, there is a healing opportunity here for what this is coming up as, and then I go into it. And let me read you this, and I got one more thing to quickly share. So imagine love is speaking to you, saying, I am here, and I am healing the hearts that suffer, the minds that resist, the ones that remain. Those who have transitioned already know my love never left, but those who are still here struggle with the sorrow and the attachment to their loved ones. The sorrow is natural, yet it takes surrender and letting go to feel the release and to allow the sorrow to pass through versus getting stuck and creating blocks. There are many ways to handle allowing sorrow to pass through in a healthy way. All emotions can be experienced in a healthy way, even anger. Allowing it to pass through without getting stuck is key. Let it arise. Accept it. Experience it knowing that it is not you. It is not the emotion being triggered it is the emotion being triggered. And in doing so, remain aligned or centered as you go through the experience. This allows you to let it flow naturally and fully without getting stuck in it or resisting it. This is what is most helpful for those grieving to know. So a lot of us are grieving, especially when you experience death or death around you. It's kind of in the air. It's a natural process, but that advice I think is healthy advice. The last thing I'll mention is there's often layers of blocks, and the root cause is usually all the same. That root cause is often our separation from the divine, from God, from our true essence as being created in the image of the divine, being sons of the Most High, being extensions of God, extensions of Source. Just like that vine and the branches, we're extensions of the divine, but healing that separation is usually what it all comes back to. So as you go through this process, it'll take you deeper and deeper till you get to those root levels, and you'll just keep expanding, and you'll still have emotions come up, but you'll be able to let them pass and keep on moving. And just like the thoughts that come up, you won't get entangled into them, think they're you, and get mixed up. You'll remember you're that divine light that's here to love and to experience and to allow and to accept. So that's pretty much it. Hope this helps somebody. I'm sure it will. It's helped me. Much love.